by the people of the city to represent, sorry about that, to represent the people of the city. Do you all feel that you represent us well in the budget talks that we did? Mr. Brown made an article in the paper the other day. I actually read that. It was very touching. And I hope the other councilmen and councilwomen actually make it a point to do that as well, go out and greet the people that they represent and meet the people they represent. But do you actually think you represent us well? When people are going to lose their home, and people are going to have to foreclose just to move out of the city because they can't pay these taxes? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to comment much more upon the budget after tonight, but I talked to a lot of people in a given day. One person actually said that the budget that was passed is a death sentence to the the citizens of this city. Another person actually called it the doomsday tax. It's sad, very sad, because I mean, if people lose their home, that's less revenue for you guys, and I don't see where we're getting ahead by that. I mean, less revenue, you guys are going to be back here next year talking about the same thing, we need more money. With the reckless spending that's going on, I just don't see that at all. Before I was shown the door last time we had a meeting by Mr. Merritt, I just wanted to make a comment on what Mr. Layton said to Mr. Sorek. And that comment was, if people paid their taxes, we wouldn't be in the predicament we're in. And I don't feel how that statement is justifiable, because if people aren't paying their taxes now, a tax increase of this magnitude will lead to less people paying their taxes. The way, I mean, I just don't see it feasible at all. I would like to also make a comment about the Hawkeye surveillance cameras that are within the city. There's been a lot of media hype about this. It's very tragic that that little boy, Kevin Miller, lost his life by the hit and run driver. But the sad thing is, there was a camera right there, and that camera did not get the image of that car. And there's 3 other incidents that I can name off the top of my head. Miss McCulloch, who was struck and killed on Hazel Street, a shooting on the by the East South Street Bridge, and a recent drive-by shooting on Hazel Street. Now we have 200 cameras within the city, and I don't know if the taxpayers' money goes toward funding and running this system, but I know for a fact that there's cameras right down the street on Hazel Street. In fact, there's 2 on the corner of Hazel Street and Wilkes-Barre Boulevard there. And not one of those cameras caught the image of the person that ran Miss McCulloch down, and there was one by right above Mr. Miller when he got ran over, and no image was caught. I believe we should scrap the Hawkeye surveillance camera system, because it's a waste of time and a waste of money. And I don't know if the taxpayers' money goes to that, but can I ask if it does or not? So this way I kind of feel justifiable for what I'm saying here. I mean, does the taxpayer money go to anything for the Hawkeye?
You have one more item on there?
Yes, I do. Can I just...
Run out of time, then we'll get to your answers.
The last thing I have to say is about the Cole Street project too. It's a 5-lane thoroughfare now, and I just think we should all look into the streets that come to Cole Street, where we should not have a left turn coming off of those streets, like North Mead, Logan Street, Custer, Reno Lane, like all those streets are coming to Cole Street there, and you're talking about they're crossing 5 lanes of traffic. It's an accident waiting to happen, and I know the speed limit's only 25 miles an hour, but people on that street do not drive 25 miles an hour. They think it's a highway because now it's 5 lanes. So maybe council or someone can look into this, maybe making their no left-hand turn coming onto Cole Street, because it's an accident waiting to happen.
The other streets are one way, so you have no choice, okay? They have it all screwed up in the lanes.
On Cole Street.
Or they need
I use North Main Street every day.
It's terrible, isn't it?
No, I have no problem at all getting out onto Cole Street. I thought I would, because I even approached the administration and said I thought we were probably going to need a light there. And I was told that PennDOT had done their survey, and they did not feel that way. And I said, all right, well, we'll see what happens when it opens. And I have to really and truly tell you, I have never had a problem getting out of North Main. I had a harder time when it was 2 lanes.
Really? Okay. Anything about the Hawkeye?
I'm going to make a very brief statement on that. You are right, it's a terrible tragedy. There are a couple hundred cameras in the city of Wilkes-Barre that a couple hundred cameras are not going to cover every specific location, every specific time, you know, that is what they're like. And you said capturing images is what it's all about.
Yeah.
I deal with these every day, cameras, and that's what I do. And unless you can anticipate where something is going to occur, and no one can do that, unfortunately, then you have to rely on maybe it's the next camera down the road or the next. A lot of what we see on television, we see a lot of it on television, where you clear images, you can almost identify the driver. It's not real life, it doesn't really happen, especially under difficult circumstances. But I don't know what they've actually captured and what they haven't, and it's not our concern. But I do know that the police are doing a wonderful job, and the community is doing a wonderful job in this investigation.
They are.
And, you know, you just can't be everywhere all the time. I think that they have a purpose, I think that they've proven their words in the past, and I'm a supporter of it. I just think that they just cannot be constantly where we would want them to be.
But do the taxpayers' money go into funding the expenses for this?
It's a private, it's an authority, lends itself autonomous from the city. It receives its funding in large part from providing security services for different entities. So is there money budgeted to go back into it? Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, because actually Mr. Holden had a report yesterday on this issue, and actually one of the images that he showed in his clip was they had an image of Cold Street Park. And I was actually there with my daughter one time, and I witnessed plenty of drug deals there. And I mean, there's someone constantly watching these.
We're not gonna go back and
I know,
forth. I'm gonna end with this. There are people that are in the command center constantly.
24/7?
Yes, but it's a large number of cameras to monitor for, you would need dozens of people to monitor that number of cameras constantly, you can believe that. But thank you.